Hiya Mark, sorry for the delay in this recap before we start. I was under the impression that this had been posted, so apologies on that front. Hope you're well, hope the golf's going to plan. What we saw in this session was somebody just drifted away a little bit from the previous sessions, started to stand a little bit too close to it, started to stand a little bit open as we see there on the top left. Also started to get the weight, I've not put that footage up, the weight was getting a little bit too centred to favouring the right side, and the left shoulder wasn't working down for long enough. Just posed a quick question up there on the top right of your screen. What is a good swing? In our opinion, a good swing is a movement around a fixed point with a consistent inclination to the ground. If you get those two key pieces in there, you're going to strike the golf ball very consistently, and you're going to control the path of the golf club, which in turn will control the curvature on the golf ball. So if we take a little look here at the top left hand side of your screen, what we're going to see is a player who's stood a little bit too close to it, isn't working the left shoulder down as much as he was in his previous sessions, which is causing the centre of the shoulder turn to move off. So if you look at what is a good golf swing, well, first thing, if very early in the piece a movement around a fixed point has been compromised. From there, the arms are working up and out straight in front of you too much rather than inwards, which is going to rob you of power as well as compromising the path of the golf club and making it difficult for you to maintain a steady axis. And then as you come through the golf ball, weight stays back and head works up. If we watch it from down the line, we're going to see that the head comes away from that wall, and the red line that's angled forward was your inclination to the ground. That also has been compromised. So the two things required to play good, consistently good golf have been compromised very early in the piece. So what we've done, first of all, we've talked about your setup. We've got you stood further away from the golf ball here, feeling like the hands are angled, feeling like the hands are angled out in front of you slightly. You can see there that they're not, they're hanging nicely down under the shoulders. And then feeling that the arms are going to work inwards. The difference between those two. So the arms are going to work in, and the head has to stay on the wall. So my club is representing the wall. You can see as you come through the golf ball, there's nowhere near as much gain in height. That's going to control the low point of your swing and also the rate at which you hit out at the golf ball. So that's one way of maintaining your inclination to the ground by practicing with your head stabilised. Obviously that's tricky to do on your own. So we talked about the role of the left shoulder. If we watch what happens here early in the piece, your left shoulder works very, very level. As the left shoulder works level, it pushes you away from the wall. When we look at it from down the line, you can see that the pitch of the shoulders here, rid of those other lines for you, it's quite level, and certainly isn't at a right angle to the amount of forward bend you had at rest. So the drill here is to put the club across your shoulders and work the left shoulder down. Point the grip at the golf ball. So you set up to a golf ball with whatever club you want to use. Then whilst maintaining that posture, place the club across your chest and then work the grip end down to the golf ball. And you can see when you do that, the axis of the swing is fixed. And then as we move around with this camera and you continue to work on this drill, what we also start to see is that the shoulders work in a much more tilted angle, which allows you to maintain your inclination to the ground much better throughout the golf swing. So a little bit wider with the stance, reaching out a little bit more with the hands, working the arms in, working the left shoulder down and maintaining your inclination to the ground. When you're out there working on your own, a way of policing whether you're maintaining your inclination to the ground is to consider the tilt of your eyes in the follow through. Are they angled over, as we see on the bottom left, or are they more level, like we see on the top left? All that makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to find me an email. It was a super session, very productive, and like I say, hope the golf's progressed on the back of it. Well done.